What's up, everybody? This is Jose Gagnon, the super random guy, here again today. And I'll be doing the next two Season 5 Everything Wrong with Thomas the Train episodes, which are episodes 17 and 18. The first one we're going to do is Thomas and the Rumors. So we're going to get the greatness, have the amazing happy times, enjoy, as much amazing happiness as we can get in the life. And also for the episode after this, we'll finally be able to see Oliver again, which I'm super duper happy. It's going to be the super amazing, happy, great times, everybody. Yeah. So let's get it rolling. You know how it always goes here on this channel. Here we go now. Woo! Yeah.
Thomas the Tank Engine loves his branch line. One day, when he stopped at a small station, some children looked sad. They've closed our playground and our favorite sand pit. Teacher says the sand is soiled and too dirty to play in. Please help us, Thomas. I'll see what I can do, replied Thomas kindly. Thomas hoped things weren't quite as bad as the children had made them out to be. But as he passed their playground, a large sign read, "Playground closed until further notice." The children were right, thought Thomas sadly. He puffed into the yards and was just about to tell the other engines about the playground when Percy rushed in.
Dun, dun, dun.
"You look glum, little Percy," said Gordon. Sir Topham Hatt told Driver that he's using Harold to show a visitor the island instead of using any of us engines.
So now there's basically two important things that are happening. Like, first Thomas was gonna say it, but then since Percy came in first, he came to the shed super fast. He was the one that got to tell his news first. And that news is that, there's a special visitor coming, but they're gonna have Harold the helicopter with the one, bring the visitor around and show him the different places on the island instead of, having any of the trains do it. Which is gonna, get all the trains super pissed off because, they usually, do a lot of important jobs too. And they've never usually have had Harold gone and brought important people around the island before, so that's why they're all super pissed off. And the news that Thomas was gonna say was, gonna talk, tell them how the children's playground was closed down. But they don't really explain why. They just closed it down for some random reason. But obviously all the other trains are gonna focus more on Percy's news because they think that that's a lot more important than, a children's playground being closed down. So that's what's gonna get them super, angry and super pissed off, basically.
"Despicable," said Gordon. "Disgusting," snorted Henry. "Engines are meant to take visitors around our island, not that whirlybird thing," James exclaimed. Gordon was the first to see Harold. "Harold thinks he can go faster than me. I'll show him." Next it was Henry's turn. "Sir Topham Hatt has chosen Harold because he thinks he's more important than me. Well, he's not. Harold can't fly through tunnels." Percy stopped by a signal on his branch line near a field where sheep were grazing. Harold hovered for a while, then buzzed away. "I know what he's doing. He's counting sheep." And Percy puffed along his line, feeling much better about things. That evening, the engines talked about the situation. "Harold wants to get rid of us," said Gordon. "He doesn't need tunnels," added Henry. "Don't worry, he's just counting sheep," said Percy.
Counting sheep, Pa, snorted Gordon. He's counting how many engines he can get rid of. He'll see how useful I am tomorrow.
Thomas wanted to mention the children's playground, but solving the mystery of Harold and the visitor came first. The next day, Gordon was traveling to collect his train. "We'll show that whirlybird just how fast you can go, Gordon," said his driver.
At least Percy doesn't, isn't kind of super worried about, Harold taking the visitor, unlike, Gordon, Henry, and James are. Because they're trying to prove a point to show that, they're just as important as Harold is, which is basically the lesson that they'll be learning, like, later on, like, pretty much at the end of the episode, like, that's the lesson they'll be learning, that, that they're just as important as Harold is. But they want to, make them think that they're more important than Harold is, but they're basically gonna get talked to by Sir Topham Hatt, and he's gonna say that they are just as important as Harold is, so that they don't need to just go crazy for no reason and just prove points, because that's just how they are. They just like listening to the craziness and then just doing crazy things for no reason, pretty much, because that's just how they think, pretty much.
But because they were watching Harold, they missed the signal and went onto the wrong line. Gordon was traveling to trouble. Ahead was a tunnel under repair.
And now Gordon's basically gonna get himself into an accident just by trying to, make prove his points, thinking that he's a lot better than Harold. So he's not gonna. Trying to prove his point is going to make a lot more crazy, messed up stuff happen.
His driver reduced steam and braked hard. But it was too late. Later, Thomas pulled Gordon clear with the breakdown train. Sir Topham Hatt spoke severely to Gordon's driver. "Will Gordon be scrapped, sir?" asked Thomas sadly. "What makes you think that?" said Sir Topham Hatt. Thomas decided to pluck up courage. "Because the engines think the visitor is here to see if we can be replaced by Harold." Sir Topham Hatt laughed. "Well, the engines are wrong, and you shouldn't listen to rumors, Thomas. This gentleman is making a new playground for the children. It was easier to find a suitable site from up in the air."
So now basically both important things ended up coming together, because the only reason that Harold took the special visitor was just so he could find a new playground area for the kids to hang around in. So that was the whole reason of why Harold ended up taking the special visitor, because like Sir Topham Hatt said, it is a lot better to see the sights of the island from up in the air than down in the ground. So that's basically why they had him do that.
"And what's more," said the visitor, "that tunnel sand will be perfect for the playground. Sand we found by accident, you might say." Sir Topham Hatt still uses Harold to fly above the island. But all the engines know that Harold isn't spying on them. He is just being very useful.
Exactly. So now we just finished up episode 17. So now we'll be moving on to episode 18, which is, like I said, it's going to be about Oliver, who we haven't seen in a super long time in the show. So get the greatness, have the amazing happy times, everybody. And we will see you all in the next video coming up right away. Yeah. Woo! Yeah, mans. We're keeping it rolling, people. No matter what happens.